What is up, my butter biscuits? So in today's video, we're going to be talking about Patrick Starrr and Manny MUA. I feel like this one, low-key, is kind of like a trip. It kind of came out of left field because if you guys know, once upon a time, Manny and Patrick were actually like best friends for a long period of time. However, they did have a little bit of a falling out and they didn't talk about anything publicly for a long period of time. And now they finally kind of hashed it out. Well, not even really hashed it out. They kind of just low-key talked about it. They didn't really go into full details as to what was the main reason of the falling out. However, they did talk about it within Patrick Starr's new podcast called Say Yes to the Guest. So in today's video, we are going to be talking about that and discussing their friendship. Y'all, this video, I kind of did a little bit more research. I'm trying to be a little bit more organized and a little bit more put together, which if y'all know me, that is very difficult because I'm just very messy and I'm very just unorganized and I don't really like do my research on things because honestly, whenever I do any type of like research for videos or like look into things, I forget it. Like literally I'll be filming a video and I'll be like, okay, I make notes about it within my phone or iPad and then it's like, okay, I write them down, but then when I go to film the video, I forget it. So I'm trying to be a little bit more organized. I have my iPad sitting here on a stand, so if I read from some notes, I do apologize that I'm looking away from the camera. However, like I said, I just want to be a little bit more organized, and it's something that I want to challenge myself to do in 2021 if I'm going to be doing this commentary thing. It's been 1 year now that I've been doing this, and I kind of want to like step up my game and be a little bit more thorough and a little bit more professional, which is very difficult for me, y'all. I'm a high school dropout. Like things like this are hard for me. Doing any type of research or staying organized, I don't know. I feel like I kind of have like ADD where it's like I'll be thinking about too many things at once and I can't stay focused. As you guys know, I've always wanted to do my makeup while talking about chisme. However, I just can't focus on two things at once. So I'm just really going to try to challenge myself to like be a little bit more thorough and be a little bit more in depth on things. And then hopefully one day in the future, I will try once again to do my makeup while talking about chisme. I just feel like it'll be a little bit more entertaining. And on top of that too, it'll be a little bit more fun for me. You know what I'm saying? I really do like doing the commentary thing. I really like talking. As y'all know, I ramble so much, but I just feel like it'll be so much better to actually do my makeup while talking about things every now and then, not for every video because obviously that would be just like way overwhelming. However, I want to try to like do that. I tried to do it last year and recently I tried to do it again and I failed. Like, yo, I just fumble and then I start talking about the makeup too much and then I lose like what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna like really try my hardest to just try to be a little bit better, and then once I get that down, then I think that I can try to focus a little bit more on doing makeup while talking about chisme or giving commentary on a specific situation. I feel like that'll be so cool. However, it's just really hard for someone with a brain like me. I'm just scatterbrained. Y'all know I repeat myself so much. I ramble so much. So it's just very difficult to stay on track for me. I don't know what is going on within my brain. So in today's video, I have my iPad propped up right here and I have my notes because I do want to be a little bit more thorough about this and give you guys a little bit more in depth on the situation with Patrick Starrr and Manny, because this was a situation actually that tripped everybody out because they were so close and everyone loved their friendship. I used to watch their videos and I was like, oh my gosh, they seem like so cool. They seem down to earth. They're funny. They crack jokes all the time. They seem like my type of people. You know what I'm saying? And then they had a big falling out, but it was never really addressed as to what happened. So I just wanted to take some notes, be a little bit more thorough about that. So hopefully I do a little bit better within this video. However, look, y'all, I'm trying, okay? So if it's not the best, I apologize, but I'll get there one day, okay? Anyways, y'all, let me not ramble. By the way, I forgot to mention as well, too, I do have a giveaway running right now. I said I'll mention it in every single video up until the 8th. The winner will be announced on the, well, it won't be announced on the 8th. It'll be picked on the 8th, and then I'll announce it on a video after. However, the contest will be closing on the 8th. I wanted to talk about one single thing before we get into this video. I had heard online that people were making a big deal about Baby Yoda or Grogu eating like the reptile eggs within one of the episodes of The Mandalorian. I wanted to get your guys' like feedback on that because I consider myself to be a pretty open-minded person. I feel myself like my inner Libra rises and I kind of like see both sides of every story. This one I cannot understand. I'm like really like tripped out. Like, how are people getting so offended about Baby Yoda eating the eggs? Because y'all, they're a different species. You know what I'm saying? And just like here on Earth, there's a different species, let's say lions, for example, that eat deer. That's how they stay alive. That's how they survive. That's their means to survival. So I'm just kind of like tripped out. Why were people trying to cancel Baby Yoda or Grogu for eating the reptile eggs? Like, I just don't get it. Like, I literally just read about that last night and I was like, wait, people were really trying to cancel Grogu or the Mandalorian just because he ate the eggs? I'm like, different species eat different species. That's just kind of like the circle of life. Like, look at lions and deers. You know what I'm saying? It's just, it's a thing. I don't know. If somebody can explain that to me, I would really appreciate it because I did struggle to see the other person's point of view. And I like really pride myself on like trying to understand another person's point of view. However, this one I was just like, how are people getting mad over this and trying to cancel Baby Yoda and the Mandalorian? Like, it just tripped me out. Anyways, completely off topic, but since I'm doing a giveaway on that, so anyways, y'all, let me not ramble. That way we can go ahead and get into this video. If y'all are new here, make sure you guys hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so that way you get notified when I upload a new video. Make sure y'all give this video a big thumbs up. I would really appreciate that, and let's go ahead and get into it. All right, y'all, just to give you guys a little bit of history on Patrick Starrr and Manny MUA before we get into this, so that way you guys know for context, because it has been a hot minute since they've actually been really close and done videos together. Some of you guys may know, some of you may not know, or may not even remember, because it has been 5, almost 6 years since they actually came up together on social media. So for those of you that don't know, they actually rose to fame back in 2015 because they were actually two of the first boys in beauty, which during this time, y'all, was such a trip. And I could speak from personal experience that, oh my God, it was so difficult. I was trying to grow my Instagram and Facebook account and YouTube as well during this time, and it just seemed as if every single time that I posted a video related to makeup, I just got so much hate. Y'all can like just imagine what the comments I would get. So I know how difficult it was for Patrick and Manny MUA to be growing up on social media, because during this time, boys in beauty just really weren't accepted. However, I do think that this actually worked to their advantage, because this is what helped them grow. And when they were actually teamed up with their manager during this time, she actually introduced them to brands and introduced them as kind of like a duo and a package that they come together. And they actually stated this within their podcast, where they said their manager would pitch to other brands and say, hey, for the price of one girl, you get 2 guys. So it's going to benefit you a little bit more. And then obviously Patrick Starrr and Manny MUA would grow from this. And I think that this is actually a very, very smart tactic for a manager to do to brands, because obviously the influencer is going to get some type of recognition for this, just like Patrick Starrr and Manny MUA did during this time. In my personal opinion, and I will get into, you know, more of my opinions in this, and none of it is facts, just letting you guys know it's just my assumption, my speculation about it. This is where I kind of think that Manny MUA got the mentality of, hey, I got to be cool with multiple people so that way I can grow my social media, that way I can grow my YouTube, I got to collaborate with multiple people, that way I can grow my channel faster. I think that he kind of like rose to fame really, really fast, and he got more hungry for the views and more hungry for the attention and more hungry for money as well too, because money came with those views. That's just my personal opinion on it. Obviously, I don't know about that. Anyways, during this time while they were growing up, Patrick Starrr and Manny MUA really grew a really close bond that everyone enjoyed to watch, myself included. I remember watching their videos and I was like, wow, they actually remind me of my friends. During this time, look, I'll just be really real, okay? Like back in 2014, 2015, I felt like beauty influencers were like low-key boring. Like I remember watching them, I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm learning a lot. However, I don't know, their energy was just like, blah, so I'm putting this eyeshadow on, and like, you know, very much kind of like Nikki Tutorials. Like I've said this before, I'm like, oh, I love Nikki Tutorials content. I feel like, oh my gosh, she is so beautiful. She is such an amazing artist. She is so talented, but I get kind of bored watching her because I'm just like, oh my gosh, she doesn't really have personality, you know what I'm saying? Or personality that I'm used to or attracted to, you know what I'm saying? So during this time, I thought it was really cool to see Patrick and Manny MUA grow up together, because they reminded me of my friends. They kind of had that, you know, playful banter where they would just roast each other and talk trash on each other, and that's what me and my friends do. So it kind of made me attracted to them, and I believe millions of people felt the same way too. They really grew a bond to watching Manny and Patrick together, because they had just, I don't know, they had such a fun and energy and chemistry on camera, and a lot of people were a little bit boring during this time. So people were looking at them like, oh my gosh, they're fun, they're entertaining. So they grew up together because they actually had a lot of similarities. They were boys in beauty. They were both gay. They're the eldest of 3 boys. Their moms are both nurses. So they had a lot of similarities, and people obviously could see this through the camera and grew attachment to them. So moving forward right here, actually, this is where I personally think everyone started to call Manny MUA a social climber before he got canceled by Gabriel Zamora, which we will get into in just a little bit, because this does pertain to his falling out with Patrick Starrr. Because during this time, he was friends with Jeffree Star. It seemed as if he was doing collaboration after collaboration with Patrick Starrr, and as soon as he went over to Jeffree Star, it just seemed like he completely stopped talking to Patrick, and everyone was just wondering like, wait, aren't you best friends with Patrick? Like, what happened with Patrick? How come you're not talking to him? So many people were wondering this, and myself included. When I was watching their content, I was like, where's your guys' videos? Like, you just see Jeffree now, and then what happens, you know? And if you guys don't remember, during this time, Jeffree actually really wasn't doing YouTube videos. It took him a while to get onto YouTube. He was doing his Instagram, growing his Instagram account, and then it took him a while to get onto YouTube. And this is just like a side note really fast. I feel like this is just, you know, my personal opinion. I think Jeffree was waiting to do YouTube for the longest time because he did not want to show himself without makeup. Because if y'all have been following Jeffree for a long period of time, you would know. Way back in the day, on the MySpace days, Instagram days, he would not show himself without makeup. You could not find a picture of Jeffree Star without makeup. Like literally back in the day, let's say like 2014, you can go onto Google and literally type in Jeffree Star and literally without makeup would like be popping up immediately. People wanted to know what he looked like without makeup. So it's just, you know, my speculation that he didn't want to do YouTube because he didn't want to show himself without makeup. Just a complete side note. Anyways, moving forward here. So as soon as Manny MUA actually became really, really close with Jeffree, a lot of people did like their chemistry as well together because they seem to have had that same type of bond that Patrick and Manny had. However, in my personal opinion, I do believe that Manny had a little bit more of a bond with Patrick. They just seemed a little bit more close. They seemed a little bit more like, you know, like real friends. That's just my, you know, personal opinion. However, I will say this worked to Manny's benefit because during this time, y'all, Jeffree Star was coming up with his cosmetic brand and he did his first ever collaboration with Manny MUA. And here's a picture right here where you guys can see it did a skin frost and 2 liquid lipsticks. And y'all, during this time, this was unheard of. A lot of brands were doing collaborations with influencers. However, you weren't seeing an influencer brand collaborate with an influencer. It was something that hadn't been done before. So I think the internet kind of went crazy for this because everyone was so attracted to Manny MUA and they were so attracted to Jeffree Star, so they were like, oh my gosh, they're collaborating together, and people went crazy over this collection, and it was such a huge, massive success during this time that I actually think this inspired people to create their own makeup brand. It inspired a lot of influencers to create a makeup brand because obviously this was such a huge success. So obviously Manny MUA was drawn to this, you know. Jeffree Star had always been one of the most popular boys on social media in general, whether it be within makeup or just, you know, in general. He was just super, super popular. So obviously Manny MUA during this time in his friendship with Jeffree, he was growing at another rapid pace. So as soon as he stopped talking to Jeffree, this is where people are kind of like, okay, something is up with Manny here. Like, how are you really like close friends with Patrick, really close friends with Jeffree, and you stop talking to them both, but then you hop to another group of friends? So this is where people were obviously gaining in their head a preconceived idea of Manny by saying, you know what? He's a social climber. And I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I actually had that same perception as well, too. I was just kind of like, you're a homie hopper. Like, you go from here to here to here to here. And honestly, that's just the way that it looked online. But I do want to say now, though, now that I've gotten a little bit more into YouTube and it's like my full-time career now, I have actually learned, though, that YouTube does encourage you to collaborate with as many influencers or as many YouTubers as possible to grow your platform and their platform as well, too. So I do want to say that within his defense before we get into the whole Gabriel Zamora situation, because y'all, this blew up. The whole situation with Gabriel Zamora was such a trip. So as soon as he stopped talking to Jeffree Star, he became really close friends with Gabriel Zamora, with Nikita Dragon, and Laura Lee. And this is where this infamous picture had came out that was posted by Gabriel Zamora that said, B is bitter because without him, we're doing better. Which obviously this was 100% directed towards Jeffree Star. And during this time, people were like, oh my gosh, going crazy. Y'all, this is where the whole first like Dramageddon was about to start. It was such a mess during this time. I remember like being on the sidelines just trying to grow my own social media and like, y'all, trying to do my own little makeup thing over here. And I was just looking at that like, oh my gosh, what is going down behind the scenes? And I do want to note this though, because a lot of people, you know, we all do it. We all speculate, we all assume things, but we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes. And I think that a lot of times when these influencers are going through something, they want to keep it private. However, that may not necessarily be a good thing, because when you see somebody like Manny MUA who stops being friends with Patrick, stops being friends with Jeffree, and then obviously we're about to get into the Gabriel part, stops being friends with Gabriel, it kind of makes him look bad. However, we don't know, you know, the other sides of it. I always say there is, you know, 3 sides to the story. It's Manny's side, Gabriel's side, and then the truth. And obviously we don't know that. So speculation sometimes do ruin things, even though I feel like it's human nature and we all do it. So during this time when he had came really, really close with all of these people right here, which you guys can see within the picture, everyone was like, hold up, what is going down right here? right after this, okay, this was just such a trip because this picture right here is what led Gabriel Zamora to create his video called My Truth. And this actually put Gabriel Zamora like way out there on the map. He had never grown at this pace before. He got so many subscribers. He has the most videos, the most views on this video, which was posted on August 21st, 2018. And just in case you guys are wondering, okay, because you guys are like, why are you talking about this? This is going to go into Patrick Starrr, obviously. We're getting there. So, like I said, posted on August 21st, 2018. This video now to this day has almost 5 million views right here. And this is what started the whole cancellation of Manny MUA. Everyone was just going crazy because now everyone was calling him a social climber, a user, a homie hopper. Like he was just going around using any type of group of friends that he can. So right after this video, which once again, I know I'm saying it for a third time, pay attention to this date, August 21st, 2018, Patrick Starrr comes forward and he does a subliminal tweet on August 22nd at 3:18 a.m. Now you know 100. So everyone was kind of like putting two and two together, obviously stating, you know what? This is basically Patrick Starrr validating Gabriel Zamora's story. So everyone was like, oh, snap. So now you have Jeffree Star chiming in. You have Gabriel Zamora. You have Patrick Starrr. People are kind of putting, you know, all these together and they're kind of like, okay, Manny's the problem, right? However, during this time, I just do want to say, like, y'all know, I feel bad for everybody. I don't know why. Like, I've never been through a cancellation, which, you know, maybe one day I probably will get there. But, because I feel like everybody does. During this time, I was just like, oh my God, I feel bad for him. Like, y'all know, I always say, like, to everybody, I just feel so bad because I feel like the internet can be so rough. And it's like, y'all, we don't know the other sides of the story. There's so many pieces that we are missing. We only see a little piece of it and everyone starts assuming the worst. And then they just go ham. Everyone is just so free to give their opinions and their hate and just spew negativity, and it's like, y'all don't know the full story. You know what I'm saying? So that's why whenever I do my commentary, I'm like, okay, let's take it with a grain of salt because we don't know the truth, okay? Anyways, during this time, Patrick Starrr obviously validated this right here. Right after that, this is what kicked Manny MUA into doing his first apology video with his gray hoodie, y'all. If y'all know what's up with apology videos, it's like low-key always in a hoodie, but like kind of like a gray hoodie. It's always a gray hoodie. I don't know why. I feel like, look, if you guys ever see me in a gray hoodie on a thumbnail, it's an apology video. It's just bound to happen. Anyway, so within this video, he actually said that he is sorry to Patrick Starrr. I'm going to go ahead and play a small clip right here so you guys can see it for yourself.
Gabby was talking about a pattern that I have with my friendships, you know, and he's talking about two friendships specifically, and he's talking about Patrick Starrr, and he's talking about Jeffree Star, and he's talking about himself, of course, as well. And that's what it is. I have had bad track records with other friends of mine. In private, yes, but they were still bad track records in itself. You know, talking about Patrick, for example. Patrick introduced me to the beauty world. He was the one that really got me into it. He's the one that inspired me. I have looks on my Instagram still to this day that were inspired by Patrick. You know, Patrick is someone who I was so inspired by, and we became friends, and we grew together, and we learned from one another, and we were so close. At the end of the day, friendship is a two-way street. I was internally hurting as well. This situation that's happened has really brought it to light to me that that is what I've done. Patrick was hurt by something I did, you know, by our friendship and what happened between us. And for that, I am sorry. I'm sorry to Patrick.
So as you guys can see from right there, that's his apology to Patrick Starrr within his apology video to Gabriel Zamora. And I just want to say within this, he did say that he was internally hurting as well too, because there was some hurt caused by Patrick Starrr within this. And this is where I say, I think that it sucks for everybody to assume and jump the gun and just kind of like, you know, speculating on things, because we don't really know what Patrick Starrr had did to Manny MUA, because maybe Patrick did something that we don't know of that caused him to be hurt by him and just kind of like separate from him and just stop talking to him. You know, that's something that we don't know. And that's why I always tell everybody, take everything that you see on the internet with a grain of salt, because you don't know the behind the scenes. And honestly, y'all, I feel like on the internet, you see maybe 10% of it. However, there's 90% that we are not seeing. So always take it with a grain of salt because you just don't know. So anyways, I wanted to go ahead and play that for you guys, because now I'm going to go ahead and play a small clip of Patrick Starrr and Manny MUA kind of talking about things. However, I do want to note before I play this little clip right here, within the podcast, they still didn't say what the actual reason was. And I'm just going to go ahead and do it right here and speculate, because we all kind of can gather the same type of thought about it. I think that Patrick was actually hurt by Manny because he obviously was homie hopping and kind of, kicking Patrick to the side while he was going off of here and being friends with everybody else and not talking to Patrick. And I really do wish that they would have went into a little bit more depth within this, because obviously still a lot of people wonder about this, and this is from years ago. So now that they kind of have apologized to each other and they're kind of like moving forward, I really think it would have been a great time for them to say what exactly it was, because everybody is still wondering after this podcast, well, okay, you're apologizing for this, you guys are cool now, but what was the reason? I feel like, what was it inside Jersey Shore? What was that reason? That's what I feel like, y'all. Or no, that was Jersey Shore. Am I getting Jersey Shore? That's Cardi B talking about what is the reason. Anyways, y'all, let me go ahead and play this clip right here so you guys can check it out for yourself.
I was following you on Twitter. You weren't following me back. And I was like, this is not following me back.
Really?
Yeah. And then we talked and I was like, are you going to follow me back yet or what? And
I
like,
don't think I followed you on anything, just because
No, of
I
course.
think well,
It took a while.
obviously it was, you apologized, and I just felt, I don't know, I think it came a point like in the past, like years before this year, that I had to just like restart and start fresh, because I
Totally.
think growing up bullied and gay, I was like, oh my god, it's happening all over again. And I think I think at that point in my life, I didn't want to allow or tolerate anything. So then
Totally.
I think to even take it back, I was like, I appreciated you to kick me in the ass and say, follow me back.
I was like, why aren't you following me?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not even saying like I wanted it to be like what it was back in the past, because like I don't even recognize that person anymore. I don't even want that to be me anymore. I wanted it to be something different and better.
Authentic.
And I wanted to move forward in like a positive way. And I was like, well, I appreciate your art, I appreciate what you're doing online. Obviously, I'm going to follow you, especially for the fact that we were friends for so long.
Right.
I'm not going to like just like let that go.
So as you guys can see from right there, they kind of hashed it out. They apologized. I think it was really cool for Patrick to invite him on to his very first podcast, because I do think that this obviously is getting people to talk about it, because people have always wondered what went down. I do wish that they would have went a little bit more into depth as to what exactly was the reason with everything that happened between them. However, they didn't, but hey, maybe they're keeping it private, or we can all assume, what we think it is, and I'm pretty sure I know what it is. You know what I'm saying? However, I do want to say during this all, I just feel really, really bad for Manny. And just in case you guys did not know, if y'all see in old videos of mine from years ago, I've always said that I don't like Manny because he did throw shade at me on Twitter, and it was just completely unnecessary. I was like, girl, I never came for you. Like, why are you coming for me, throwing shade at me? You know what I'm saying? However, I do want to say that was years ago, and I'm not the type of person to hold grudges whatsoever. I let everything go. And I want to say that I do really feel bad for Manny, and I think that this cancellation has really, really like humbled him and, caused him to be a little bit of a better person, which is kind of crazy because I don't think that he deserved that cancellation that he got whatsoever. I feel like it was just so severe. Like, y'all, he was getting it so bad. And he even said within his podcast as well, too, with Patrick, that he went to his family's home and just kind of like stayed away from social media for a month. And I was like, y'all, did he really deserve that? Like, at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He was being known as this, user and social climber. And it's like, honestly, y'all, look at every other YouTuber out there. They all collaborate with one another to obviously grow their channel and grow their views. And I think that that's something that is, necessary to grow on social media. I've always been very open with you guys and said before, I do think that my channel would grow, much faster if I were to collaborate with people. However, I got trust issues, y'all. I don't know. I don't really click with people very well. I just stay over here in my lane, and that is it. However, I will definitely say that if I did collaborate with people, my channel would grow faster. So, at the end of the day, you got to do what you got to do to, get to your goals. And I think that's exactly what Manny was doing. And I don't think that he deserved the cancellation that he got. However, I do want to say, though, I really do wish that they did a little bit more collabs together. And I hope that in the future they do more videos together, because I do kind of like miss their, their energy. The way they like clown on each other and roast each other. I really like it. It just reminds me of home. Like, y'all, that's how me and my family are. That's how me and my friends are. And watching them just kind of like, makes me feel like that. And I really like that, because I don't feel like there is any type of friendships like that out there anymore. And I do want to say, I feel like social media is obviously getting very, very rough, and a lot of people have to filter themselves. So even cracking a joke on your friend on camera could sometimes be, perceived as bullying or something like that to some people out there. So it would be really nice if they just kind of like got back together and did more videos together, because I thought it was really fun during that time. But anyways, y'all, that is it for this video. I hope you guys like my little trip down memory lane here. I try to do a little bit more research than normally within a video, and I hope that you guys like that. So let me know how you guys feel about everything. Make sure you guys give me your thoughts and opinions down in the comment section below, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Peace out, Girl Scout.